They needed Chapman to come in and get the last out. Severino goes to 9-1. Home runs for Torres, Bird, and Roman. You got the second game lineup yet or no? Not yet. We expect Torres to be short in the second game today. Let's see what we have. Ryan and Ramsey. What's up, Ryan? Hello.
But they're going to bring their...
no good. Got to get ready.
So good.
Eddie Westchester, what's up, Eddie?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for coming back. Horse racing. Why in the Kentucky Derby you got about 20 horses, and the other two races you got about 10? And what picks the
Because everybody wants to race in the Derby, and after the Derby's over, there are a lot of other races around the country that you can go campaign and make easy money at, and that's why you never get the field back. First of all, they wouldn't take that many horses in the races again, but the Derby is a special race. It's different, and if they didn't limit him in the Derby, you'd have a zillion horses enter. So they have to limit it because everybody wants to win the Derby.
And what about the horse racing accident with the fire with the? Did you hear about that?
I don't know what you're alluding to.
There's 20 horses that died in a fire.
Where was it? I'm not familiar with it. I've seen that before, but unfortunately, but I don't know where this one. I mean, it's happened tragically from time to time. I have not seen. I didn't know where this one was. Which one you're alluding to? They're always horrific. Whenever those horses get trapped somewhere and there's a fire, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. All right, here's the Yankee lineup tonight: Gaudy, Judge, Sanchez, Stanton's cleanup. He's DH. Torres is at short. Andujar's at third. Walker's at second. Austin at first. Frazier in left. So Gaudy, Judge, Sanchez, Stanton, DH, Torres, Andujar. So Torres is batting fifth, and he is the shortstop. Andujar, Walker, Austin, Frazier, German. Greg and Brick. What's up, Greg?
Hey, Mike, I'm glad you're back.
Thank you. What's up?
My kids, Nick and Kaylee, also are happy to have you back.
Good, thank you. What's up?
Going with the Yankees, that one caller, I certainly don't agree with Petey going anywhere. I think he's going to stay with the Yankees. I know there's a lot of what-ifs, but what if the three players were Andujar, Clint Frazier, and maybe Tyler Austin? Could you see that happening to grab a pitcher from the Mets?
I think they would probably... Those three, you're close. I don't know that you're there. I'd have to know how they feel about each one of the three. If they all... it's close. They might have to sweeten it a little more. I think they'd first have their heart set on Torres, so you'd have to get them off that by probably giving them four players for the one, just because they'd start and be very adamant early about Torres just to sweeten the deal. So you might have to add one more guy, but you're close. I mean, listen, you're giving them players that really can help them. There's no question. They really can help them. Ben and Patterson, what's up, Ben?
Hey, Mike. I'm a Mets fan. I was watching a game a few weeks ago, and I was flipping between the Yankees and Mets, and I had this epiphany that you basically just stated a little while ago about building your team through offense. Because I think the Mets have been guilty of this, and a lot of teams have, but they just keep chasing this pitching. And I think the way you build is build like the Yankees, build your offense, bludgeon the other team's pitching, and then work on building your pitching. Because you could always sign guys like Colon here and there to fill your team out until you build your pitching.
It's not so much that you're bludgeoning them. The thing is that the young position player is far more dependable. He stays away. He's far more dependable. He's far more predictable. You can predict it. You can do a better job of predicting his success. You also can keep him healthy where you can't keep the power pitcher healthy. So the power pitcher, who a lot of times is minimized now as a starter, where he might go 6 innings, he might go 5 innings. So you go and build him the way the Astros did. Now, the Astros didn't win until they went and got Verlander. Absolutely. I'm not telling you you're not going to need a big pitcher. You are, but you go get a veteran guy. And you let him lead you, as the Astros did. Go get Verlander. Go get a guy like that to anchor your staff. So that was the missing ingredient for them after they went and got the core, the young guys. And Boston went and got Sale and went and got Price and guys like that. So that's how it works. Robin Patchogue, what's up, Rob?
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Good, what's happening?
Just talking about Jacob deGrom, I mean, considering that he's at the absolute top of his game, I mean, you look at WAR, that he's considered the number one pitcher in baseball right now. You have to figure that the haul that they would get back for him would be astronomical. I mean, not that the Yankees would ever trade.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I have a. I mean, I
for
have
3 months of Chapman.
No, listen. Listen. First of all, the Cubs gave away a player they knew was special because it was the time, it was the now time, and there was one player that could make all the difference for them, and they went and got him, and they had to win. I mean, there was a mandate to win. They had to win. They went and they did it. They overpaid. They knew they overpaid. They knew what they were doing. And a lot of teams think that. I know a lot of people after that happened felt there should be a rule that you can't re-sign your own guy. I mean, that there should be a rule against it. Well, there's not. So,
no, of course, but I mean, you consider that Chapman was there for 3 months, and now you have deGrom who's under control until 2021. You have to figure that the return that the Mets would get would be even higher.
Well, yeah. Well, my point is though, the Yankees, I think the Mets would have to go elsewhere or take something else because I don't think the Yankees would trade Torres under any circumstances. I don't believe.
No, not
I don't believe they would. No, and I don't have any problem with the Mets asking for him. I think they'd be right to ask for him. I think they'd be logical to ask for him. The one thing I would have to say with you is that I was surprised that you would think that deGrom was even better than I would have to put Scherzer ahead of deGrom. I don't think I put anybody else ahead of deGrom this year. I'd have to analyze every Verlander, deGrom, and Scherzer start, but those guys are clearly 1, 2, 3. There's no question. They're the 3 best pitchers in baseball this year. deGrom, Scherzer, and Verlander are the guys that would be right at the top. At the top. I mean, those would be the 3 guys. In WHIP, Verlander's 1, Scherzer's 4, and deGrom's down the list because he's got some walks. And a lot of, whatever reason, batting average against Verlander, Scherzer, 1, 2. To me, those are the 2 best. And then deGrom. I think, listen, he's in the top 3. Andrew in Port Jefferson. What's up, Andrew?
Mike, thank you for taking my call as always. You got me cleaning out my ears again. You're taking Mets-Yankees trade calls here. Like, is this even a realistic thing that could happen in the world?
No. Is it realistic?
No, of course it's not.
Well, listen, the only reason do I think it's like impossible after, I went and asked the question and I got back, you know what? There's no hard feelings. I think we could do it, but it's going to be a very hard deal for someone on that level, and I understand that. So, listen, it's not outrageous talk. It's not because it isn't for this reason. I could understand as a Met fan having deGrom leaving build my team if I do the right moves, and I am not. I would not be diametrically opposed to that if I was a Met fan. If I do it, but I got to do it right. Right.
So it's got to be Gleyber Torres from the Yankees or nothing, then. And the other.
I mean, listen. If I get 4 for 1, and I think I get 4 guys who I think
Tyler Austin.
No, wait a second.
Not a 4 for 1. I don't.
Wait a second. Yeah. I mean, if you're starting with, there are a lot of players in the Yankee organization. A lot. I mean, there are right now. There are none in the Mets, and there are a lot in the Yankee. And
so we give away the best pitcher in baseball.
Well, he's not the best pitcher in baseball, first of all.
One of the top 3.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And then we get back possibilities of guys who may turn into something. And in 5 years, we have a team of decent hitters. All we need is that ace that we gave the Yankees 5 years ago.
But here's the thing the Mets have got to do, and they got to do this whether they trade deGrom or not. And I don't think they will trade deGrom. Okay, I don't think there's I think they will keep deGrom. I don't think they'll trade deGrom or Syndergaard. But let me say this: the Mets' way of building the team is faulty. You got to build it you got to build the lineup first. You have to, because that's the way baseball is played now. Because you don't get enough dependability or predictability out of the starting pitcher to build it around the starting pitchers. You're going to get your heart broken. You keep building it around the starting pitcher. The teams that are winning built it. Look at the teams that are winning. Red Sox, Astros, Yankees, Cubs. These teams are all built around their position players. Young, good position players. And then they went and got their rotation. And that's how they go out and get their rotation and get the one guy. Or I'm not saying you can't home grow a pitcher. You can, hopefully you can grow a couple of them. That's the idea. But you still have to build it not around, the Mets were built around power pitching, and I think that is a faulty way to build a team now. And I think the Mets have to rectify that going forward at some point. Doesn't have to be today, but I think eventually they're going to have to rectify that. Hey, horse racing.